All right. Exit liquidity. Welcome, everyone. I just got the shirt on. This thing is damp. It did not fully dry from the. But it's there. It's there. I assure you. Is this episode 80, Cito?
I think so.
All right.
I think
Episode
so.
80, probably. Today we have some friends from a little group chat we got going on. Front running friends. When did we first make this group? This is like, I don't know, a year running at this point, something like that. I think
might be a bit longer.
we had. When did what?
I said it might be a bit longer than that.
Yeah, because I think we had you on the podcast, Waj, back in like April of last year. It was early. It was early. What's up, Bumsy? By the way, didn't get to say hi yet.
Perfect timing, Bumsy.
Yeah.
Do we get our nameplates up
this
here?
was like live.
Yeah. the nameplates are blocked off, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but,
we kind of fucked that up.
I think. Yeah, we'll fix it in post.
It'll be there in post. It'll be there in
We
post.
can fix everything.
Good
Yeah,
deal.
it's a live podcast. I wanted to I don't know if you guys know the story of how we started the group chat. I wanted to tell that a little bit. Basically, it was back in I was actually looking through mine and Cito's messages. I was basically upset because I was poor. And I wasn't. I was doing a terrible job trading. I was losing money on the dumbest shit, and I was like, dude, what am I doing? I'm trying to do all this alone, and I just can't figure it out. I don't know what I'm doing. What's my edge? And I was like, let's just make a group chat, or let's try and join some group chats so we're not doing this all alone. And I believe Waj563 and was anyone else in the group from day one? I think it was just the four of us.
Yeah, I think it started off with just us four, and then it kind of expanded quite quickly.
Yeah. Now there's 10 of us in there. Still small, definitely. Bumsy hopped in as a more recent addition, helping us track the cabal a little bit. Cito, you want to explain to us why because you always allude to Bumsy being cabal. I'm curious to where that's coming from.
I mean, the cabal is I don't want to get I don't want to get shot or someone knock on my door later today. So I won't talk about the cabal too much, but yeah, it's just a feeling, when I met Bumsy in Dubai, it was just yeah, this dude is likely cabal.
It's connected.
Yeah, well connected. So yeah, that's the cabal. I mean, I've been asking him to send the price up, but I don't think it's happened yet.
Bumsy, what's going on, man? Why are they not letting us go up?
It's just written in the cards, timing, cycles, all of the above. But yeah, time to form a new cabal.
Yeah,
it's right here. This is the formation right here. Bumsy, you mentioned that you're bearish right now. You're a bear. You wanna explain? You wanna explain yourself?
Man. Putting me on the spot right away. I almost didn't want to come in this pod because I didn't want to spread the bad vibes. But
no, it's okay. We're all trying to make constructive decisions,
Yeah. Actually, I don't know if it's super bearish right now, but you just see a lot of the hype die down, especially from the meme coin peak cycles. I think a lot of us who are in DeFi maybe a month or two ago, we were very concerned about whether or not, the liquidity would ever flow back to DeFi. And we're just seeing people make unreal amounts of money in meme coins. And we weren't sure if that was ever going to end, and not to say it's, over at this point, but a lot of the liquidity has left once we've seen the majors get shaky. And so it does feel kind of like a soft reset is happening right now, in my opinion. But yeah, just curious what your guys' takes are.
But should we? That's not terribly bearish. I think
that's fair.
That's very fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Yeah, it's very fair.
Trying to be logical, guys.
Yeah. Do we want to run through intros really quick? Waj, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, we can do intros.
Yeah, sure.
Who are you?
I think most of the viewers may know me. I have been on Exit Liquidity before, but I'm Waj. I basically work doing content creation, and I work for an options protocol on Berachain as well. That basically sums me up.
Wait, that's not enough. Watch,
Yeah, that's enough, that's enough.
you come on, man. You
Hmm.
were working full time as a doctor when you were first getting into crypto. I was hoping to hear something about that.
Okay, I'm still a doctor. Tomorrow I'm working a shift in a busy hospital near where I live. So yeah, I'm a doctor, but now I'm only part-time. I'm full-time crypto. I like derivatives, so that's why I work in derivatives. And yeah, I make videos, I write articles, I write threads. That's me.
Nice. We got a doctor and then we got a rocket scientist as well. You wanna go next, 563?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I started off on the engineering side, more on, like you said, rockets and defense stuff. I did a little time at NASA and then mostly worked in the defense industry for a while. But now I head up the research team over at Blockmates. We're building out like premium content, so working through all of that, and yeah, having a lot of fun doing it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Last but
Other
certainly not least.
than Cabal member, what are you working on, Bubsy?
Okay, so yeah, I'm Bumsy and essentially mostly a degen, but somehow fell into the world of crypto marketing. And it's actually where I met Holly and Cito. So in the past, I was at a protocol called Y2K Finance, and then joined Scribe.co, which is a marketing company where we met, and have also worked with Waj in the past on projects here and there. And currently really focused on like the early Bitcoin eco. So heading up a project there as an Anon member, and yeah, also investing and advising there as well.
Nice, solid group of guys.
I think
So
that's what
you
makes
want to go?
Oh,
Well, while we're here, might as well make it around the table, right?
shit. Yeah, I do marketing growth stuff for an Oracle company to be disclosed. Other than that, I mean, I don't even like to call myself a degen anymore. I don't even do anything on, like, I bought a few meme coins, messed around with stuff, used to write research for a DeFi protocol. I was like a previous finance TradFi guy, and yeah, now I have a podcast with some dude about crypto.
Nice. My camera started moving and that's gonna bother me, so just ignore this. There we go. Now it stopped. Yeah, what am I doing? Podcast stuff. I used to be in VC. Also was at that marketing firm Scribe with Cito and Bumsy way back when, like earlier this year, late last year. Yeah, lots of research, writing stuff, some protocol experience in the past. Now kind of just dicking around on chain. That's living the dream. Yeah, no, Waj, you said it well. Very, very diverse group of backgrounds when you really think about it. I mean, I don't know that there's a. I mean, first of all, just having you're like our token diversity like doctor thing. You know, like how many doctors do you know in crypto? That's like pretty nuts when you really.
Oh,
think
he has a
about it.
group chat, doesn't he?
Really? Oh yeah.
Well, no, that's my Exit Liquidity like group, you know, like these are like these are like my colleagues, right? So I have like this group of like maybe 100 doctors who are like interested in finance in some way, shape, or form, and like every now and then there will be like someone who sends like a Cointelegraph like link or something like that. But the group is absolutely dead right now. And I remember at the peak of the 21 cycle, that group was active. So when that group gets active again, that's when I know things with retail are definitely back.
Have you been picking up more shifts, Waj?
Unfortunately, yeah. So yeah, the next 5 days I'm working in hospital, but that's just because like at the moment in the UK we've got this doctors are striking basically because they're not getting paid well enough. So crypto's down, my IRL job is down, like everything's just going down only, you know. But yeah, my hospital was like reaching out because they needed some people to like just work. Otherwise, literally no one's going to be there. So yeah, I'm helping out. I feel like I'm doing something good at least.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah.
I think that's a good start on like sentiment. Tech in the space, everything's fucking down, including IRL stuff. Yeah, so like, what is everyone thinking on like general sentiment? I mean, I feel like from our just group chat in general, things have just been boring. Nothing has been like as exciting. I mean, there's like a few cool, innovative things, some activities to do, some points to farm, some places to LP. But yeah, I'd say my overall sentiment on the space, if I had to put it on a 1 through 10, is probably around like a 6.5, something like that. Curious what everyone else is feeling.
Is this
Ollie, you
your
want to
like,
start?
is this your sentiment like short term or like throughout the whole cycle or like where we are just right now?
That's just what I'm feeling right now. It's like I'm kind of bored. Everything feels the same. No one is actually making any difference for UX. Everything still sucks. L2 gas fees still fly up whenever there's actually activity on the chain. Like nothing is actually that good. And then you have pumped out fun, which makes things like fun for like 60 days, and now we're back to boredom. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe it's just like pessimism, being in this kind of space long enough. But I just feel like last cycle was just so much more fun. There was like a lot more fun things to do, a lot more new ecosystems that felt worth engaging with. Like in retrospect, like the Phantom ecosystem wasn't that cool, or like the AVAX ecosystem wasn't that cool, but I still felt the need to like jump over there and try like Olympus Forks or try like Tomb kind of shit, and like that was fun. Now it's like just infrastructure after infrastructure that doesn't really make anything better and doesn't feel like it applies to me. And then what? Everyone's ETH in perpetuity is just sitting in Eigenlayer now. I mean, the Eigen points were cool, but like not really my cup of tea. And I mean, I don't think any ABSs are actually on doing anything. So TBD on if that's going to change the world. Yeah, that's just how I'm feeling right now. I mean, I think the future is bright. There's like talk of consumer dApps being something that, you know, people are focusing on and progressively kind of investing in. Maybe that's where something cool will start to happen. But until then, just bored.
Cito's the bear then.
I'm like not bear. I'm not like a bear. I don't think like prices are gonna go like down or anything. I'm not like too concerned on prices. It's just like I'm bored. Like there's nothing exciting to do on chain.
Yeah, I think
Some
Wei
would
hit
argue that boredom
1
is
or
worse.
something like that, right?
What was it?
I think Wei hit like 1 on chain on ETH or something
Was
like
that
the other
real?
day.
I saw that. I
That's
saw
I
that.
don't know,
wild.
but I believed it. Someone baited me and I believed it.
Oh, is it not true?
Not sure.
I mean, that
but
sounds
it
like
seems
it
kinda true,
can't
yeah.
be true.
No, it was true.
It was true.
But right now, median is 6. So like
Damn.
Still really
I
low.
wouldn't. Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
was doing some transactions yesterday and I was paying like less than $3 or $4 for like approval and swap.
What were you doing yesterday on chain?
I was messing around with Hyperlane a little bit. And I was getting out of LRTs actually. I don't Eigenlayer is like, I feel weird about Eigenlayer. Like I know it's like the most interesting thing that has happened in a while, or that's like consensus at least. I I just feel like they're botching a lot of stuff in plain sight, and like no one is really like, I don't know. People kind of still just treat LRTs as like the default baseline to outperform if you're in like the EVM ecosystem. And like I don't think that's the case anymore. I don't even think it was the case like before necessarily. I think you probably like would have gotten better returns if you had been on Blast over that same period of time. And I mean, not that I was in LRTs the whole time, but if you had like done minimal effort and just bridge there, you probably would have gotten better returns there. I think I know a lot of people who just straight up like, even with the token down as it is now, a lot of people who just like straight up 2x with like medium size. Obviously you can't go too big, otherwise you'll get the vest. I do still like Symbiotic as a better opportunity. But like Eigenlayer itself, like I don't really see much reason to continue being in there. Like most of my airdrops, I mean, I had it spread across like 6 or 7 wallets, and most of them were all except for 1 or 2 were like not even that much until they added like the 100 Eigen bonus. And I think that was like a save face kind of decision. I don't think that was planned. Not to mention that like the whole token rollout is really weird. Like, you know, we had the phase 1 of the claims. Now we have phase 2. Phase 2 still isn't working for some DeFi protocols or on some chains. And the token is going to be tradable like when? I just don't get it. I don't know. I just don't get it. So I was pretty much exiting that. I was in Easy ETH and then like RS ETH after Renzo dropped. Now I have like a good chunk of my portfolio in Symbiotic and Mellow. Those are both full now, but if more spots open up there, I might just dump the rest of those the ETH that I got from those LRTs in. But yeah, I was doing some stuff yesterday. It was super cheap. I don't know if I'm as bearish as the two of you guys, Cito and Bumsy. I mean, I'm okay with boredom. I think that's the difference because like I first got into crypto like full time when things were really, really frothy, and then it was just bear for like a full, I don't know, 1.5 2 years. And I just like got used to it. I got to enjoying it. Like I could spend all day diving into one thing and I wouldn't feel like I missed anything, you know? And I don't feel like I've been able to do that without like having some FOMO in a pretty long time. So I'm looking forward to that for, if nothing else, at least a couple months. And I'm like happy enough with my positions that I'm you know, not too worried even if they go down a bit more from here. I don't know. I feel pretty good, all things considered. I do think that like kind of the way things have fallen with like airdrop farming falling out of favor, the like low float, high FDV meta kind of dying out. That was all kind of stuff I was hoping to happen like for the past couple months because it's been pretty cancerous, you know? And I didn't think it would continue forever. And it's nice to see some of it like getting washed out. So I don't know. Not all downward activity is a bad thing, I think. Especially like all the pump fund users dying off, all the volume starting to move down there. Like I fucking hate pump fund. I'm gonna be honest. Like I mean I respect the guys who made it. Like I think they did a hell of a job, but I also think that it's like it's it like has potential to be like worse than TikTok, which is like incredibly bullish for them and their revenue and their token, but it's like bearish for society, you know? So I just I can't say I'm not glad to see the activity moving down there. 560.
How did your Photon fund go that you were doing for a little bit?
My Photon fund.
Thought that was
You're talking
Cito.
about like the yeah. No, I did. I mean I hit Costco on that for like a 250x or something, and that just made up for everything. Like I still have some sitting on there. Just I still have, I don't know, like 50, 60 soul sitting in cost just out of like respect more than anything.
Respect.
Before that, I was like probably break even, which is pretty good for how many trades I made. Now I don't touch that thing anymore. Like meme coining is I'm okay sitting out until there's like more traction or more like, I guess, just like solidified interest. But it went well overall. 563. How are you feeling, man? What's your sentiment these days?
Yeah, I kind of agree with a lot of what you said, Ali, with this period of the market. I think we went up really fast, like the beginning part of this market. So if anything, I'm happy that there's been a flush just because there's so much garbage that got produced during that parabolic move. So if we can just get rid of all of that and let the projects that are going to survive and let the ones that are going to die, I think that's healthier. You know, I was looking at the Kaito sentiment. They have this cool overall sentiment graph, and it shows like the sentiment now is as low as it was back in the beginning of the year. So we just erased all of the bullishness that we had. It's the fastest drawdown that they have recorded over the past couple of years. So, I mean, I think that's fine, honestly. It's kind of crazy. Like if you had told people back when we were sitting at like, 15, 25K, that we'd be like as bearish as we were back then at 60K, like I don't think they would have believed you. So I think it's pretty wild. So I'm doing fine. Like you said, I'm kind of just chilling in projects I believe in. So I don't really mind them drawing down a little bit. It's fine.
You know what I really liked was I think it was you 563 who sent this tweet a while ago, or it was like a screenshot of some private account where it was like the whole like celeb coin and meme coin stuff going on like really makes things indicative of like a market top. But in reality, it was like the Solana resurgence after the FTX blow up and everything that kind of catalyzed that. And like inflow wise and timeline wise, everything is still the same as it has been before. It just feels like more frothy and it feels later stage because of like the whole like Phoenix thing with Solana.
Yeah, I mean, if you were in that ecosystem and you made those 20, 50x gains, you're going to feel like this is a late cycle. But no one else that wasn't in that ecosystem has felt that. So that's why you have that serious disconnect between people that are like, yeah, we're in the 9th inning right now, or we're in the 1st inning. It's because either they made it or they've made nothing. So yeah, I think the amount that Solana drew down just led to that. Because it wasn't a bad project. It was just beaten down tremendously. So even over there, maybe it feels like it's late stage, but I don't think we're there yet overall.
I think like one of the concerns. Go ahead, Bumsy.
To be fair, like we are seeing some peak bear market activities with Surtech recently turning from white hat to black hat, and just showing kind of some of their stripes, things like that, and just even everything that happened with Jump and Knobs leaving. It's kind of like the OG Cabal, the real Cabal.
The OG Cabal.
Did you see that USDC volume chart on Solana?
Yeah. It's just all wash trading, right?
Yeah, I was buying into that. I mean, him leaving and then the USDC volume just going down. I was like, okay, what the fuck? I'm starting to believe some of those ETH guys that are like, Solana's a fake chain. It's an entire scam. And I'm like, okay, that's peak bear market. Like that's peak bear market like mindset.
Well, just look at the Sol ETH chart. I think that's what it's manifesting as, the hate on the timeline because of that. Finally have all that grave dancing on Solana because they did it so much to ETH.
It's not even down that bad though.
Oh, I know.
There's a lot more grave dancing that could be done, that's for sure.
So it's just gonna get worse.
Waj, I mean, the thing that's nice about this group is that like you get hopium from like different places. Like 1 week I'll be happy with meme coin positions, and then 563 will tell us a bunch about some cool like AI stuff that's happening. Waj will give me some like bear chain hopium, and then Bumsy's telling us about some like Bitcoin eco stuff. So yeah, Waj, what are you feeling right now?
I think I think we've pretty much said everything in sentiment is, and I think I agree with most of it. I think what I was going to say before was, I think I was a little bit worried that we were just going up way too fast, and I was somewhat convinced in this left translated cycle, but like I don't think that's happening now, and I think things are just playing out as they normally are. So yeah, like I think like when prices go up, everyone gets like really excited, and there's any kind of new shiny thing just gets so much more attention. And when prices go down, like even something that's innovative, just people just sleep on it. So I think right now people are just touching grass. People aren't really interested in crypto right now, but I do think they'll come back, and I think they'll come back when prices start going up again. We'll just have to wait for that, I guess.
Yeah, do you think the whole like go away in the summer thing? Like people were saying that in like the springtime, and I don't know. I feel like I didn't value that enough, and I think like next summer I'm just gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna go fuck off. Like,
When mango away.
yeah, yeah. It could be some of that. I think someone in here. I think it was either Waj or Bumsy. Like I think someone was like selling at least close to the top, or like talking about selling. Might have been both of you guys.
I think
But
I didn't sell like a lot, but I did definitely take chips off the table. Um, I mean, I don't think like I could ever sell everything in one go anyway. I think I'm always someone who's gonna have to like sell in little bits as we go through the cycle. So I'm a little fortunate that I did sell something, but I mean, I'm gonna end up buying back in. So I've got a bit of a stable bag left, but yeah, I've been dollar cost averaging for like the last 2 months and buying the dip and buying the dip, and unfortunately, it keeps dipping for now. But I think eventually
Dippity dip.
stop. It will stop eventually. But yeah, at least I've been able to like get more coins overall, which has been good.
Yeah, I try to sell everything at like ETH 3600. I was just seeing the Nansen Smart Money stablecoin chart, which was basically at an all-time low, and this is when ETH and Bitcoin were pumping. And so basically, just in my mind, like my heuristic was that there's nobody left on chain to buy the dips if they're gonna come. So with like the slightest correction of Bitcoin or ETH, we were gonna see like some sort of flush. And I think it kind of reached 3600 again a few more times before kind of the downturn we're experiencing right now. So Nansen Smart Money stables, really good indicator in the future.
You're muted, Cito.
how quickly do like the smart money does the smart money like label go around? Like how smart do you have to be as a wallet to get the smart money label from Nansen? Like is it hard? Is it good? Like what's the track rate? Is there like any insight on what that is? Because I mean like so many platforms label use this like smart money label, and I just find it funny like what their parameters are for each.
Bro, somebody's reached out in my DMs saying, I saw you bought this coin on from Nansen. I was like, why did you buy it? It's like, why is my wallet being tracked? That was kind of an invasion of privacy right there, man. And I didn't know they were doing that. So you get having a
Smart
public
money.
ENS. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know about
fun.
that. I think it's just because my ENS was on there. It's
I think we
kind
need
of
to
weird.
create a exit liquidity tags, like
Yeah.
an index of what is exit liquidity doing.
Yeah, their own little cabal.
Nansen, as far as I know, Nansen Smart Money is like mostly not manually labeled, but they have like scouts who go through and have certain like P&L and volume and trade requirements. Every like smart money platform has a different criteria. I don't know what it is exactly, but I know I've seen wallets that like, I mean, they're like smart, but they're not like, I wouldn't call them smart money, you know? Like if someone has like uh an on-chain portfolio of like 300K and they have a win rate of like 55% and they're up like 60K, they're up, what is that, like 30%. Like, is that smart money to you guys? Would you track that wallet?
Depends how it's doing against the market, I guess.
That's
yeah,
fair.
if they're up,
yeah.
if they're up that much in the last like 3 months, maybe.
Because I remember
We've had like
seeing some-
multiple good calls, probably. You know.
Yeah, it's tough because it's so nuanced. Because you could look into that, and maybe they drew down 95%, and then they hit one like 500x. Like we don't, there's a lot of context missing in like the smart money stuff. It makes they're like you can always find edge cases, so it's like a good heuristic, but it's weird when you really try and get to like mid curve about it. You have to just like take it at face value. I feel like.
Yeah.
Deep down, we're all smart money.
Have you seen the Chain Edge ones too? Those are pretty good labels. They do like
Yeah.
early.
I
into-
followed when I was like trading meme coins way too often, like a month ago. I tried to like follow one of those like smart money wallets, and it's like every time I would follow them, like I think it's clear that they can tell you're following, and they just like do some like weird shit with like these like pools. And so yeah, every time I follow, they just make bad trades. So I stopped doing that. But yeah, I think a high level like Nansen stablecoin smart money wallet tracking is like probably a good thing to do pretty consistently. So shout out to Bumsy. Speaking of smart money stuff, high conviction bets from now. I think I know like high level where everyone's going to be at ecosystem wise or like category wise. I don't know how deep we want to go into this, maybe like project specific or like exact calls, how much leverage, what's the exit price. But yeah, I mean, Ali, you want to start? What's your high conviction bets that you're thinking about right now? I have probably two. ETH.
Yeah, I was lucky or smart enough to go pretty heavy ETH like before alt started dipping. I'm probably like over close to like 50% in ETH right now. In ETH farming something or other. I just think it's like probably the most obvious thesis out there, and like it's kind of still, I don't want to say being faded, but it's still not really getting as much attention as I think it could. I kind of have to like, it seems like every time I see something come up again, or I see like a pattern, I always have to make an effort to remind myself that like this time it's not different, because it never really is, or it's just like in my experience, it's plus EV to just like play it the way it happened last time. And I think there's like good airdrop opportunities around ETH as well, or good farming opportunities around it. So I went pretty heavy ETH. I'm still pretty heavy ETH, and I will be until I don't know, until like I see it start to outperform enough. I don't really have a good exit period. I would also, this isn't a position I have yet, or that I can have yet, but I would also bid Cloud pretty heavily from Sanctum. I don't know when that's launching, but I would call that pretty high conviction for all the things they're doing. I farmed it quite a lot. Actually, everything that I had farming it, I moved into ETH after the program ended. But depending on my like airdrop allocation there, in any case, actually, I'll probably bid more, because they also have like a pretty novel launch mechanism. So can get in at a decent valuation for somewhat of a vest.
Surprising considering you're like a serial airdrop dumper.
Damn, no one's ever called me that before, but I guess it's kind of true.
I think we all are. It's fine.
I mean, what airdrops have I held? I held Blur for a while back in like 2022 or 2023, whatever it was. I fumbled Celestia.
Yeah, I mean, I just think maybe it's coming off the ZK Sync one, but you take a lot of pride in like Just straight up dumping
Oh hell
it
yeah!
on,
No,
on a
I'm
lot
to-
of
no,
stuff.
I'm part of the problem. Yeah, 100%. Well, I mean, like, I'm
On-chain
not the
on-chain
problem, but like,
terrorist.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not the problem. I'm just like contributing to the problem, you know. But like, what do you want me to do? They just leave free money on the ground. I'm supposed to not pick it up. But no, this one
Governance
I'll
is-
hold. This one I'll hold. I'd be proud to participate in governance. Okay, I won't do all that, but like, I'll hold it and wait for it to go up.
What else? That's two. What else you got?
I gotta do
You can
3.
keep it at two. Keep it at two. if you
Yeah,
want.
there's nothing else really. I still like ordinals. I have like Bitcoin on chain that I will bid with if new collections emerge. But I'm still holding some of the top ones. I've never really sold those. Yeah, that's I would say those are the 3 biggest ones, probably in order too. Waj, what about you?
I think I agree with ETH. Like, it's hard, like, not to be somewhat bullish on it. Yeah, I know some people are saying, "Oh yeah, the inflows are going to be whack," and you know, Bitcoin is always going to be like 10 times bigger than ETH or whatever. But I like ETH, and I think ETH is internet money in some way, shape, or form. To me, anyway. So yeah, I think ETH. I think we'll see all-time high on ETH some point, hopefully this year. So like, it's hard not to be bullish on that, especially because, like you said, there's still so many different ways you can farm and like increase your stack. Like, I'm sure, like, if you deposited ETH into Eigen, I think you on day one you would have had a 2x approximately, somewhere around that. So I think if you're getting something like that on ETH, it seems pretty good to me. Even if like ETH underperforms Bitcoin, you still make more overall. I think I'm still bullish on AI. I still think like there will be like another AI resurgence. I don't think it's over just yet. I think we saw that this happen in 2023 as well, where there was like an AI bubble and then it kind of went down 50, 60, 70%, and then went back up again at the end of Q4, sorry. So I do think like AI will catch a bid again. BitTense is like my favorite, but I like other AI projects too. Otherwise, I don't really have a third like high conviction thing. I would like to have some conviction in DeFi, but I don't think tokens are going up just yet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll keep it simple.
563. I think he stole your Tao one.
Yeah, he
but-
stole it, man. It's fine. It's fine.
We can share it, man. We can share it.
Yeah, that would be the one I'm most excited about. It's like Waj said. I mean, AI.
You want to
is-
summarize that
Yeah.
new thing that I think you've been excited about in the Tao ecosystem that's happening,
one new thing? There's a lot of new things, man.
Dynamic
or
Tau?
like the
Dynamic
coolest
Tao?
new thing?
It's tough to choose, man. It's like choosing between children. It's Dynamic Tau is going to be interesting. So right now, how each subnet gets their piece of the pie, as it were, like with the emissions, is based on the largest validators. So the largest 64 validators set the weights for all of the subnets, and that determines how many tau they get every epoch. But in the future, which is like this year, they're going to basically make subnet tokens for every subnet, and based on the proportionate market cap of those tokens, that's what determines how many emissions they get. So it'll be, instead of the largest validators saying who gets the most Tau going forward, it'll be market driven. And I think that's a much better way to do it. And it gives you more room to speculate. So this new subnet comes out, you're really excited about it. You can buy their token earlier on and earn more Tau if the token goes up in price against Tau. So I'm pretty pumped for that. But really, they're increasing the amount of subnets from 32 up to 64. Right now, I think they're at like 45. And they're all like really solid, doing good work. So I'm excited about the future, man. There's a lot of garbage out there in the world of AI and crypto. So I'm glad that I found this one and they're actually working towards something.
You have one that's like complete garbage that you just want to
Bro, there's so
Off the top of
many.
your head.
Like I went through my old list. I was like 100 and something projects on there, and there's at least 10% of them that just don't even have a presence anymore. The token's down 99%. There's like their Twitter was deleted. So yeah, it's
Jeez.
just so much vaporware out there. But
We're
yeah,
gonna need to see that list, sir.
yeah, I can send you guys the list. I think I sent it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I haven't touched that in a while. I've just mostly been engaged with the stuff. Some cool highlights recently. Subnet 9, the pre-training one in May, one of the models, the best-in-class model, beat a Llama 2 model with like 50 times less compute than Llama 2. So that's like Meta's open source model. And that was only after 6 months of the subnet being active. So it kind of shows you how powerful these incentive mechanisms can be. And then like Subnet 8's the prop trading one. I know Waj knows those guys a lot. Their bot, Dale, is the number one trading bot on Bybit right now. So also pretty cool. And then Corcel, who runs Subnet 19, I use their app like every day. They allow you to use any type of LLM just for free because it's being subsidized by the BitTensor network, basically, because that's part of what their subnet does. But you can use any of these open source models too. So you can use Llama 3, you can use Mixtral, you can use GPT or ChatGPT 4.0, or what is it, 4.0 now. Pretty cool. But besides that, I think I'm excited about IONET, obviously. I've got bags, so I'm excited about it. But I think like compute power is not going to it's a limited resource. So a model like IO's with like a very thin infrastructure layer that connects supply and demand, I think makes sense from a crypto perspective, because you can't really have that without crypto. Because if you have somebody like Amazon doing that, they're going to want to extract as much rent as possible. Whereas where you're going to have this open network that connects buyers and sellers without trying to be maximally rent extractive is something useful.
Nice.
I'm actually on the same
Bugsy?
page with IONET.
Yeah.
Nice.
Had bags. Won't disclose if I still do or not. But I just think that a lot of companies in Web 2, as well as maybe Web 3 as well, they're just buying GPUs without any cost considerations. Basically, their investors are basically encouraging them to join this race and not really care about, if it's going to return a profit or not. And I do think that at some point, that's going to have to come to some sort of reasonable equilibrium. And probably at that point, similar to what AWS did, basically renting out cloud compute, I think it just makes a lot of sense that people are going to do the same with AI, like GPUs and whatnot. So yeah, I do think IONET has a chance to be beta to that, or even maybe a leader as well. Super interesting to me.
Any Bitcoin stuff?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I guess just to kind of speak from a high level, I would say I have a thesis that maybe I can share. And just, something that I've been thinking about is from very high level, I call it like effort abstraction. So anything that can reduce the level of effort by the user seems to be working and doing well, and I'm bullish on in the future. So even if you look at the classic barbell that's been working of memes on one side, which is left curve, and AI on the right side, I think to a certain degree, they're both accomplishing the same thing, which is reducing the amount of effort it takes to interact with things on chain, right? So with memes, super obvious. You can just, bet on an idea and, just kind of see who believes in it or how strong of an idea it is, how funny of a joke things are as well. Super interesting there. Not many fundamentals, I would say. And then on the AI side, in the future, I think there's going to be a lot of abstraction of your effort and keystrokes and clicks, things like that. Or else, as you all know, it's super hard to do actions on chain. So things like Wayfinder from Prime, super interesting. I think you're going to see more and more kind of AI interaction layers that come up that allow us to execute on chain. Yeah, and I also think that even when it comes to things like yields, the chains that are integrating native yields into their like from the base level, I think that makes it easier for users to, just simply choose where they want to be. So I'm definitely excited about things like Berachain and even Blast, I would say. They've been doing a good job attracting users to their chain and standing out because of that base layer of yield, I would say. And then I think the thesis also applies to things like the ETFs, right? So anything adjacent to Bitcoin and ETH, which we expect to get an ETF approved soon, will just kind of increase the amount of liquidity as well as the attention that those ecosystems are able to get. So yeah, I think that although I'm short-term bearish, like there's a lot of peak bear market activities going on right now. I can see a pretty bright future where, regulatory environment starts improving and, these innovations that people have been working on in crypto help reduce the amount of effort that is taken to do stuff on chain for the past couple of years.
Nice.
Well
That's a
said.
good. I like that thesis a lot. Berachain is my one. I have clear bias in the bag. Ali has spent a lot of time trying to convince me to sell it, sell my exposure. He's very bearish, Berachain, which is a good balance for a podcast. But I think like to make it sound better, like my thesis is like the idea of like a cult and like a crazy community. I think like that's basically what I'm willing to bet on. And yeah, I think that I was pretty disappointed early on with the kinds of projects going on Berachain. But I think they've gotten better. And I think they're like that whole Build-A-Bear like thing, although it's like kind of, I'm not going to call it shady, but kind of weird. I think it is like producing some like decent stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty bullish Berachain. I think yeah, solid on Berachain. I'd say like I am bullish to AI stuff, like mostly because I see like such a like with BitTensor specifically. I think like it's such a good economy where like really good protocols like Kaido are able to make like $4 million or like doing this like these things are clearly needed and there's like a market for it. So I do like the BitTensor stuff. The IONET stuff is still weird to me. I think like the problem of verifying what compute power is what kind of compute power is where I get hung up. Nobody mentioned DeFi, which I think is funny. I mean, like there's some mention of like yields, but and then I'm also bullish ETH, ordinals. I'd say question on like all of these like subsets is like it sounds like there is going to be like a base good return, and then I think what'll happen again is there going to be some like really good beta plays. So what would you guys say is the best ETH beta right now?
563, you did a good post on this the other day.
I was gonna say I literally just posted.
Yeah.
that.
I was,
shit. My bad.
I looked at the data from the last year, like trailing 12 months, and tried to take a look at both like the correlation between ETH and the rest of these like coins you would call ETH beta, as well as, I mean, because people, when they ask about ETH beta, they don't really want it to be super correlated. They just want, if ETH price goes up, I want my coin to go up more. So I looked at that too. And the best one was actually Pepe, which kind of surprised me.
Nice.
Yeah. Or maybe newer
Any
memes
DeFi
that
plays?
for DeFi, it wasn't too close. Like I looked at Pendle, I looked at LST or Yeah, LSTs, and then I looked at ENS even, and no, I mean L2 tokens did okay. I think OP was the closest, and then Lido was okay. But Pepe was the best. It had the most on like ETH outperforming days. Pepe had the most outperforming ETH days on those days, if that makes sense. And it had the highest multiple on those days too. So I think it was on average when ETH goes up 1%, Pepe goes up about 6.5%. So pretty good. It also works the other way, by the way. So you can get wrecked on the downside,
What's
which might be what you want with beta anyway if you're shorting. So
yeah. I think we can all agree Pepe is probably the best one. I trust that. I trust the 563 analysis.
you
What
don't have
the
to check my work. It's fine.
what's the Bitcoin? What's the Bitcoin beta in your guys' mind? Maybe Bumsy, you have a good
Puppet?
grasp on that.
It's really hard to say. I feel like it's one of the most nascent ecosystems out there right now. I know that there's a Solana play. I forgot the name of the protocol, but it was like a bridge that bridges from Bitcoin to Solana. I don't know if you guys can help me out there, but yeah, basically the thesis that I have with Bitcoin is that there is a lot of interest there and activity happening on the chain, but I still think it's a little bit too hard for DeFi people to get over there. And so a lot of people are building L2s, but what I've seen do well is what happened with the Pups episode. So the Pups token, when it was getting a lot of hype and people like Ansem and Arthur Hayes were trying to buy it, they're asking, how do we do this? Like, how do we bridge? How do like, it's an entirely different set of tools that you have to use to interact with things over there. And instead, there was a huge delta between like delta arbitrage with the Solana version of Pups. And so just being able to bridge over more BRC ordinal tokens in an easier manner, I think that's going to be an interesting thesis going forward. So yeah, it's kind of a vague answer, but whatever can potentially fill that void, I think
Is it
will
not
do well.
Stacks anymore? You think that'll still play out? Because I think that was like the last one during this like Bitcoin, like larger Bitcoin move.
Yeah, I also think Stacks is a really good one. I think it's the L2 that has been around the longest, and they're the OGs of the Bitcoin DeFi thesis. And yeah, they have a couple interesting upgrades coming up, which are going to make Stacks much faster with the same kind of security as Bitcoin has. And then they're creating their own bridged version of Bitcoin that's a lot more secure, that doesn't give up a lot of trust assumptions. So for those that are following, there's like something called the Nakamoto upgrade. It's going to increase the speed of Stacks by like 10, 20x or something like that. And then the SBTC upgrade as well, which is going to come along with that. It's basically going to be like a much more trustless type of bridge. So yeah, I think it could be like huge beta to Bitcoin as well.
Do you worry at all because there are so many more L2s now compared to before when it was just basically only Stacks?
Who's in
Yeah.
that second place right now?
Merlin, maybe? There's just so many. Not a lot with tokens, though, to be fair.
Are any of them actually like proper L2s, or are they just like side chains with multi-sig bridges?
I think they're sidechains with multi-sigs.
I thought they couldn't really do like bona fide L2s until OPCat comes along.
Yeah. I'd rather just bet on OPCat. Because if that doesn't happen,
There was
then I'm not gonna-
something in the middle. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like some ZK stuff?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, you can kind of use Bitcoin as a DA layer and post ZK proofs there, right? I think that's what some of them are doing. I don't know if that counts as a L2 though. I don't know. I mean, maybe it does. It's kind of hand wavy at that point.
Yeah.
My thing is like, don't Bitcoin people hate altcoins? Like, why did they start loving Stacks?
I don't think they love it. Only 1% needs to love it for it to be huge. You know,
True.
Bitcoin's gigantic.
Yeah, I
I
don't.
think it's just like if DeFi happens on Bitcoin, then they can be like the biggest fish type of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Expected
if it
value.
works, it eats every other chain. Honestly, like it's hard to imagine that if we have like decentralized or at least like on par with EVM L2s, if we can have that on Bitcoin, like I don't know. I don't see any reason for anyone to ever touch like Arbitrum, Optimism, Base, whatever.
But I think you're assuming it's going to be like a clean road. I think
No,
like
it's not.
yeah, it's going to be like really bumpy and shit. And so yeah, no, I agree. I
I
sort
don't
of
even
agree.
think it's certain yet, or I don't even know if it's like possible yet.
OP cat
I mean,
is what we need, I guess.
I hope so. Yeah, that'll be my bet for that. Until then, I'm not really interested in using the Polygon of Bitcoin.
Oh, that's disgusting. That sounds
I
terrible.
know. It sounds terrible, doesn't it?
That sounds terrible as a sentence. Oh my god.
What else did we have on the agenda? We definitely did not get through everything. Cito, should we do calls of the week or of the month of the quarter? We kind of did that with the conviction bets. I feel like this
yeah, we did that.
is going to be overlap.
We did that.
When do you guys think the bottom is?
Of this current move or what?
Yeah,
Macro
this
move.
current move.
I don't know.
I don't think we've bottomed just yet.
You don't think we've bottomed yet?
No, I think we either get a double bottom or like we go down to the 50s.
To the 50s. Oh man.
What percentage
I-
would you give that this is the bottom?
Sorry, say again?
What percentage would you give for this being the bottom? 10%?
Oh, probably like 25%.
25%.
Oh, that's pretty
Yeah,
high.
Yeah, like I'm like 75%. Like I would bet on things going a little bit lower. Like I feel like for the rest of this month, like or even part of July, actually, I didn't think much is going to happen. Even with the ETH ETF, I would love to be proven wrong because that would be great for my bags. But like I'm not convinced that all of a sudden we're just going to start going up and things are going to be rosy and shiny again.
I'll leave it to ETH to have like amazing inflows, like everything, and just still not go up.
I don't know, man. I don't think that's gonna happen. I remember back when ETH was a good asset, and I don't think we're too far off from that anymore.
What else we got? Blast. And does anyone care about Blast? Bumsy, you mentioned like Blast being a good product. Anyone wanna bet on TVL on Blast by the next time we do these? Let's just
What
put
is
them
it
on
right
time
now?
frame.
What is it TVL right now?
Let me see.
It's up there. It's one of the top L2s
Yeah.
right now.
I think it's still under 2 bill.
1.6.
Yeah, 1.6.
Right about where base is.
I reckon it'll be the similar or higher, just because I think the market will go up.
Well, I was
I'm gonna go with under a bill.
Wow.
under a bill.
I think
That's
under
bold.
a bill.
No, I
Fade
don't
pack
think
like
that'll
that,
happen.
huh?
I don't
I think
know
it drops
about
down the
that.
rankings. I think it's below base. How about that?
That's
Yeah.
fair. I can
Sounds fair.
agree with that.
Yep.
Do you think
You guys-
it's below Hyperliquid or below Linea?
Hyperliquid.
No, it
I
should
feel
be
like
above.
Oh, yeah,
Linea's gonna
Hyperliquid's a chain.
is gonna get some hype just for airdrop farming nonsense too.
Are there apps on Linea?
So the ranking right now is what? I guess like I should probably filter by L2.
By L2, it's
Linea.
Arbitrum, Blast, Base, Polygon, Linea, Optimism.
Damn, Linea has 600 mil. Linea has
That's
twice
insane.
the TVL of Scroll.
Oh yeah, we're scroll.
It's,
24th.
It's
Yeah, but look how
consensus.
much of it is just because of Renzo.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Scroll's been killing it too. I mean,
Yeah, they've been doing a good job grabbing attention recently.
Still under Pulse Chain.
Oh, they're
though.
up. They're up 2x in a month, 2.5x in the month. Starknet and ZK.
The question I have to all of you is, where do you think Berachain like fits into all of them when it comes to TVL? I know Berachain's an L1, but like, does Berachain like get more TVL than Base and Blast have right now, like pretty quickly?
The more than 2 bill.
Yeah, more than 2 bill. I like to think so.
Probably.
More than 2 bill or more than Base or Blast when it launches, because those are two different. Like I don't think it has more than Base or Blast. Well, Blast could die.
I'll say
like
more than
using-
Blast, but
Not more than
not
Base.
confident enough to say more than Base.
Yeah, I think that's what I agree with.
Yeah. There's a chance. Yeah, it's just like having Coinbase as your like forefather as an L2 is just like too powerful. But yeah, the more I learn about how uncustomizable L2s are, it's like OP stack L2s are.
What do you mean?
Those Initiate guys really pilled me on.
Oh, I still gotta watch that.
Creating better functionality for these like app chains. So yeah,
Cosmos-based app chains are probably the most customizable still, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Problem is
They-
no
you
one's
get to
over
do a
there.
lot of crazy stuff. Yeah.
DYDX. They're just. Oh my god, those
Just
guys are
languishing
fumbling so
over there.
hard. Yeah. They could be doing so much better. They're too
So I think,
institutional.
Our ranking of future TVL for the chains is we've got Base on top, and then what do we have after that? Are we
Oh,
saying,
for L2s, you mean?
Wait, we're
yeah.
putting Base
For
over
all
Arbitrum?
L2s,
Yeah,
I want to see Base go over Arbitrum, to be honest.
I
Arbitrum's
do
been
too.
so
I'll be
boring. I think
honest,
they almost
Arbitrum's
like
been
deserve
fumbling.
it. Yeah.
I agree.
You fumble this
Definitely
hard, you
bullish
don't do anything
on-
cool.
yeah, definitely bullish on Coinbase's new wallet functionality, where it kind of
Yeah, smart wallet.
makes it a lot
Super
easier.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a competition wrapping up, or either it's wrapping up or starting in the next few weeks for like builders to build some cool shit with that tech. So keep an eye out, see what's built. What do you guys think about the Solana link thing? Anyone see that?
Links. Yeah,
dude,
That's
I'm
pretty cool.
excited. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like Farcaster frames, but like more capable.
Yeah,
So anywhere you can put a URL, you can put some kind of action that you can do on chain. It's super cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
anything that kills Farcaster, get behind.
You don't like Farcaster?
I hate Farcaster. I think it's a joke. I think all the
I
people on
still
there are
have
like
it.
terrible.
I used it for like 5 minutes when I first got suspended on Twitter. I don't think anyone interacted with me though.
We
It's
post-
just so like
So
it's
pretentious.
like everybody's on there's a fucking nerd, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's
Not fun
no
at all.
creativity whatsoever. It feels like.
Yeah, you know
like
how
a
like
niche social network.
Equilibrium's
Yeah.
like only based over in Farcaster.
Yeah.
We put out a report on them and we posted it over on Farcaster, and the only like and repost we got was from me. It's like nothing.
If it's
All
not
the
ETH, no one on
560s effort.
Farcaster.
So I tried.
No one on Farcaster cares.
I tried. It got good
Yeah,
response.
No
the links will
mentions
be
of
cool.
no mentions of Monad throughout this call.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like it's
I'm
just
excited
too
for it.
far
Yeah.
away.
Too early to say. There's no
Early to
like
say.
yeah, I don't know enough about the apps on there.
Yeah, does like Hyperliquid eat Monad at this point? Some of the use case anyway?
Mm,
Yeah,
I
like
think
If their numbers are true, which I
parallel
really doubt.
execution.
Well, just like a super performant DEX, you know? I think that's part of the reason why you want parallel execution on EVM. So you can
That's
have
like the
does it-
biggest use case.
You'd think,
I mean,
right?
I think you get like high performance on like Phantom after the Sonic upgrade. I think you get high performance on Say now with V2. You get high performance on Monad.
Yeah.
So I mean, high performance doesn't really matter. I don't think. I think it's more of a
Yeah,
case
it
of like,
matters, but it's commoditized.
It's a case
yeah.
of liquidity, maybe.
I think it's just a case of like
Maybe.
which network.
Ollie, Ollie's not having it.
I'm not. I don't want to. I mean, I don't know. It's not even.
the-
I'm not even like bearish on Barachain. It's just everybody being so bullish on it makes me bearish on it. It's like you can't.
You know, when we
You
were in
can't all
Dubai,
be right. You know.
when we were in Dubai, not many people knew what Barachain was.
Are you kidding me, dude? Barachain was in the sky on the fucking drones in Dubai.
I'm talking about the
Dude,
day
they
before
were-
that. Like I think day one of the conference. People,
No,
people
Sido,
were.
you're right. Like when
Yeah.
Sido and me were at Token, there were about 10 people that I asked, like, do you know what Barachain was? Even though there was a banner behind me saying Barachain Google Cloud, people still didn't even know like what it was. They had no
You'd be
clue.
surprised.
Even today, like when I ask people about, like, not really people who are in DeFi and everything like that, how we are, but when I ask people who are a little bit in crypto, they have no idea what Barachain is.
Were you
That's
talking to
baffling
the
to me.
hired models at the event?
No. I was talking to like non-on-chain people.
Yeah, there were a lot of those in Dubai. You know, like the
Yeah.
ones, the like wannabe exchanges or like the gaming
Yeah.
like NFT collections or whatever. Like the scammers. Like let's not
The
mince words
scammers,
here.
but also the exit liquidity, in some sense,
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
the
you
people
could
that
you
are
could
still
call
to be
them that.
flipped.
I don't know
Yeah,
why you're so bearish on Barachain. Like the Barachain, okay, fine. I understand like the valuation
Watch
point
about to
and
be
the airdrop.
fucking pissed.
Yeah, but that Barachain ecosystem is so good. It's better. It's probably better than almost every other chain.
almost every other chain.
Definitely better than most new
Okay,
chains.
yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, on most
You're
chains
asking for cool. You're asking for a new chains to build cool dApps. I'd say like you'd be hard stuck to find an ecosystem that's doing a better job at that.
Okay. I'm all right. Let's back up here a second. I
All
don't
right,
know how
everyone-
I
everyone
became the
get 'em.
villain here.
Fucking get 'em.
I stand by my view of being bearish on the NFTs. On the actual chain itself, I don't know where I land yet because I haven't looked into the ecosystem enough. I'm just like sick of hearing about it, man. Like
That's my
everyone
fault.
and their mother is like, yeah, it's probably a good bit of it is Cito's fault, but everyone is just like, this is it. Like this is the thing, and it's going to be that, like, no matter what. And I just have a hard time believing that about anything, you know. Maybe I'll look into the ecosystem and I'll actually like form a proper bear case, or maybe I'll become like bullish on it or a little bit more bullish on it. All I know is that a product can only sustain so much pre-launch interest. At a certain point, it just starts to spill out of the cup, and like, you know, it ends up being too crowded of an opportunity to be worth it for people like us. Could it still be a successful chain? Yeah, for sure. Am I gonna you know, put my time and attention into it? No, because that's not like what I'm here for. I don't know. Like I do know that they have like good apps, at least relative to like the rest of the playing field, but I have high standards these days. Like I think most L2s are just medium term grifts, and I think that we just like everybody needs to do better, not just Barachain or not just ZK Sync. ZK Sync can fuck off. We don't need them in the space anymore.
It's dark
But
now.
like the rest of them,
I
you know?
agree. Like the L2s that we have today have like terrible ecosystems. Like for me, I just think that there's some pretty good asymmetric upside because there's some pretty novel, innovative apps on Barachain, like that are completely new that people haven't experienced before.
Vape to earn.
Yeah, exactly.
I got
It
even
is-
more
it is
bullish
novel.
because Ollie's bearish, and I feel like
Counter
I
It's
shit.
the
am a
right
pretty
turn
good-
versus the left
I
turn.
am a pretty good
Yeah.
counter trade signal. I will accept that. I mean,
No, I will be
you know.
honest. I usually am. Like for reference, like historically, I usually am a really bad.
That's bad for you guys because I don't know if
yeah,
I've
it's
seen
like, this
a
is actually-
higher conviction trade for Cito than Barachain.
yeah.
like
You guys
if
It might
Barachain
actually be bad
fails,
for you.
like I just don't know if I can be bullish on DeFi because it's got
Yeah,
like some of the the brightest minds in DeFi that have adopted kind of like the best principles and practices from what we've seen over, the past 2 cycles or so. So it's like
Dude,
if you
fuck yeah.
saw or believed that Curve was like the backbone of DeFi, which it was for the longest time, basically had locked sustainable yields, right? And then a lot of apps were built off of essentially those yields being continuously provided and emitted, but it was unsustainable, right? The closer you got to the end of the lock period, the high emissions, things like that, without anywhere to go to, just constantly being dumped. It was not, it was like an early version of one of the most sustainable flywheels kind of that we've seen, I would say. But essentially, looking at some of the weaknesses, I feel like Berachain took that and basically implemented it into a chain. Like, how do we create these native yields and then essentially create some similar lock mechanics and bribe mechanics in order to make things more sustainable over time? I think it's like one of the greatest experiments that we've seen in DeFi so far. So
Wait, Bumsy, Bumsy.
yeah.
Do you know how NFTs or like people that are doing activity are going to be rewarded? It sounds like you know.
It's in some pitch
It sounds
decks.
like you know.
That's all I'll
Being the
say.
cabal member you are, it sounds like you know something we
Which
don't know.
pitch decks?
I think the
thought
airdrop will
nobody
be
knows that stuff.
disappointing.
Yes, thank you.
Say it again.
I will carry that view to the grave.
Which view?
That the airdrop is gonna. Well, I guess I'll carry it until the airdrop, but that it won't be good. And if they prove me wrong, like good, like
Good-
I'm not
good
gonna be
for
upset
who?
about my friends making money. Obviously, I'll take it on the chin, but
I don't think it'll be good for like people that are doing random activity on the chain. But I
I don't
still
think it'll be good
believe it.
for NFT holders.
I think it's going to be good for NFT holders.
I think
just
bong
think there
bear.
will
If
be-
anyone's gonna get taken care of, it's gonna be the bong bearers. The rest of
True.
the
You know-
rebases, you got to remember, you're like 7 rebases down, bro. There's 6 people. There's 6 communities who got to eat before you do.
The scraps that fall down will be decent, I think.
So I'm guessing, Cito,
But,
you have some of the lower rebase
Oh,
ones, or like the later
I
ones.
have a singular BitBear that I bought like so long ago.
It
that's
was a good
literally my
trade, in
entire
fairness. Like, you're up a good bit on it. Like, I just
Yeah.
think, like, take the good trade and move on, That's how I see it.
Someone tell me how dumb this is, but I know, like, I was talking to Ali about this. I sort of think that most of the valuations on BitBears, or like the NFTs in general, have been centered around like a 5% airdrop, because that's like that's what everyone does. Part of my conviction comes from like the Berachain guys never really doing what everyone does. I don't really have too much evidence of that. It's just like the feeling of the community, I guess. Like, it feels like there's gonna be pleasant surprises, but that's probably 90% hopium. But I just tend to think that the 5% is too low. I think they'll end up surprising people and doing something out of the ordinary. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
they're
how
already
do you-
fucking rich.
How do you make all of the parties happy? Like, you haven't just got the NFT holders. You've got like the testnet users. You've got the teams. You've got the VCs who have bought in like quite a lot.
Testnet users can. I think like the days of testnet users like
No, they
making
said it's incentivized.
Well, yeah, Smokey has said
Yeah,
that.
but-
testnet
Yeah,
users are
but
getting an
like
airdrop.
$10 worth or
you'll
what?
cover your gas fees. Your gas fees will cover, and you'll make a couple $100. I don't think it's gonna be like.
Yeah, no, I would
Like-
agree with that. I don't think anyone on
Yeah.
testnet gets like a bag. I also
No,
think
I
it's
think it's
important to
like
keep in mind.
$100 across like how many hundreds of thousands of wallets that have been farming it? Like, it's a lot.
That's true.
Yeah. Cybil, we can go. Like, they can go to the layer 0 round and figure out who's worth rewarding and
Dude,
who's not.
people cybered the
It's-
shit out of that. I literally just
testnet.
posted a link to the docs of like how to like deploy a contract, and that thing like exploded, and like all of a sudden their like contracts jumped from like, I don't know, like 5,000 to like 5 million or something like that. I also think it's
Yeah,
important to
that's
keep in mind that
crazy.
if you look at their cap table and you look at like their past infrastructure investments, these are like the same. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see like 35-40% or more to investors and team. Like at the end of the day, these people are here to make money, you know? That doesn't mean that you have to make money. It would be
Blockchain
nice.
is the most
not necessary.
egalitarian thing that we've ever seen.
What is Bearchain?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see.
I'm always on board for new experiments. I'll be watching either way. They'll get my attention, which is valuable, I think.
At the end of the day, there's cool apps. So I think that's like what we're going to be using. Whether
Yeah.
it's
What's
Kodiak-
your favorite non-IVX app on Bearchain?
I think infrared's like probably one of the most interesting. It's basically a bit like Lido, but like the bribe wars and the governance wars and stuff, I think it's shaping up to be a little bit like what Curve was. But like, yeah, there's so many other apps. There's Kodiak, there's Gummy, there's like lots and lots of derivative protocols, like at least 10 or 15 already. So whether it's like lending or whether it's derivative trading or options or whatever, like you'll find something there, and they all have their own like little Ponzonomics or game theory tied stuff, you know, with them as well. So I think that sort of stuff is cool. There's vault strategies, there's all kinds of apps. So I think like those are the stuff that we'll be using. Remember, like all of these different ecosystem projects will probably have tokens and airdrops as well. So I think there will be lots of activity for like all of us to participate in. So we'll have fun.
What do you think happens to the NFTs? Do you think they become like a part of the like I sort of feel like there has to be some way they become like part of the like liquidity stuff, liquidity mining. I feel like they're like I almost imagine like protocols will need to never mind. I'm not gonna go through this like dumb rabbit hole.
What do you
But
think? Like
Did you
how like
watch- did you watch the
holding an
intro
NFT
video?
gives you a multiplier.
yeah, I think it does something with like something similar to that.
Yeah, maybe I can see something like that happening.
We shall see.
We shall
What
see.
interview were you mentioning, Bumsy?
Oh no, there's like an intro video. I think it was either the testnet or their major raise announcement. But they did this sick video, and you know the Bong Bears and the Bear NFTs are featured all over the place. So I
Was
feel
it the
like,
Rocket one?
Not exactly sure, but yeah, I'll send it over after. But
There was one video that I was like, damn, this video sucks. But yeah, there must have been another good one.
they need exit
Yeah.
liquidity production quality.
Yeah.
No one could beat it. All right. I think that's it for this go of front running with friends. We shall be back soon. Any final words for the people you guys have?
No, thank you
Bye,
very
Tao.
much. I loved it.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thanks,
I think,
guys.
Pico bottom
Cool.
prediction will be next month. Trump
Next
attending
month.
the Bitcoin conference in
I
Nashville.
like it.
Ooh,
I
there you
like
go.
it. That's
That'd
a
be
good
cool.
that's a
good
good
call.
signal right there. All right. That was episode 80. Thanks again, guys.